Hey, today we're going to go over a few secret armor penetration buffs. We'll talk about the major order, go over news about the Democracy Space Station's known issues. There's also ship upgrade hints, and there's much more I'll be covering. If you would like to support the channel, please hit the like button below at any point, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We are going to start off with the known issues for the Democracy Space Station. It appears the developers are fully aware of the bugs that have been popping up as of recent. If we head over to the Arrowhead Zendesk site, they've recently updated the known issue list about 5 days ago. Now, towards the bottom, you'll see they have the Democracy Space Station listed with a few known issues with it. So right here are the following issues with the DSS. The support team wrote this: players can attempt to donate again even when they have already donated max resources. Amount of resources donated displayed may not reflect actual amount donated. When a tactical action is active, other fully funded actions waiting to be deployed will show an incorrect timer. Okay, to be fair, the first one sounds quite useful, and I haven't had that one happen to me yet. However, I wouldn't mind it if it did. So there's a total of 3 bugs that are not totally game breaking at all, yet the last issue on the list is somewhat of a huge bug, considering there are a few Helldivers that currently cannot donate the resources since the timer is essentially maxed out. If you haven't seen this bug just yet, I'll show proof. You can see a player here on Reddit who has experienced the cooldown bug, and it shows that this player will need to wait about 1 million days and 7 hours to donate resources, which is completely nuts. If you have had this bug pop up as of late, then expect a patch soon enough to resolve those issues since it is on the known issue list. The question is, when will there be another update? There very well could be a patch this week on a Tuesday. The developers are known to update the game on Tuesdays. Sometimes they'll drop a patch on Wednesdays or Thursdays, but it's uncommon for them to do so. Anyway, the cooldown bug should be patched within the next few days when the hotfix update does drop. The second bug listed is an interesting one. I'll show an example of what I believe is going on. We have a player here that posted this thread on the Helldivers 2 Reddit page, and boy does that look strange. Whoever this is can donate up to 50,000 rare samples, although I'm pretty sure that even if it prompts you to do so, I don't think it's actually going to allow you to donate that exact amount. Nonetheless, great news, the Arrowhead team and the developers are fully aware of what's going on. So again, expect a patch somewhat soon that will fix the problems listed. If you didn't know about this, then tap the like button below to let me know. And also, if you have experienced a bug that was not posted on the list, then let me know in the comments and I'll keep an eye out for it. Continuing forward, we've got even more great news. We all know Helldivers 2 recently received 2 hotfix patches. The last one was about 2 weeks ago, and that update, I believe, actually increased the armor penetration for a few stratagems that I don't think anyone was aware of. Let's go ahead and check out the stats. First and foremost, though, before we get into it, I want to explain where I'm getting these stats from and how they are discovered. There's a site called helldivers.io that actually shows you the weapons and stratagem stats that you do not see in game currently. Now, these stats are discovered by looking at the in-game files for Helldivers 2. If you're a leaker or someone who enjoys going through the files, then you are fully aware of this. So any of the stats I do bring up, just know they are legit. The specific stats can only be seen if you were to examine the Helldivers 2 files on PC. Alright, awesome. Since we have that out of the way and you understand where the stats are coming from, let's now see what has changed specifically in terms of armor penetration. I'm going to show you the before and after patch changes. For instance, the 500 kg bomb used to have an AP of 7770. Now it has been changed to 7777, meaning it has an armor penetration 4, or short for AP 4. Perhaps that's why prior to the changes, the 500 kg bomb was not effectively exterminating Biotines, Chargers, or even destroying Hulks properly. With that said, it should be a lot better since the armor penetration has been changed. Not only did the 500 kg bomb receive a change, but so did the Eagle airstrike. As you can tell, it's the same situation here with the older stats that show 770, and after the patch, you can tell it says 7777. They did the same exact changes to the Eagle napalm airstrike, Eagle cluster bomb, and Eagle Smoke Strike, which was also surprisingly buffed as well in terms of AP. These were also changed from 7770 to 7777. It should be a lot more effective now when used on the Automatons or the Terminids. The next few stratagems that also received an armor penetration change are the Orbital Airburst Strike. Previously, it used to have an armor penetration of 7760, and in the current patch, it is now 7766. Similar changes were made to the orbital 120mm HE barrage and orbital gas strike as well. You can see they also were changed from 7760, and in the latest patch, they are now 7766. Side note, I do want to say that I think it would be pretty cool to see the Arrowhead team go into specifics on armor penetration stats. It would do wonders for the community so we know exactly what has changed. At least in my opinion, it would be cool to see those stats mentioned in the patch notes. What do you think about it? Should the Arrowhead developers release details on the specific stats or not? I think it would be great, so what do you think? Last but not least, for the armor penetration buffs, the orbital 380mm HE barrage is another stratagem that got an AP buff. We can see prior it was 8760, and it has since been changed to 8766. The orbital walking barrage also saw some changes. It also used to have an AP of 8760, and it's now 8766. Those are all the armor penetration changes that were made recently. I hope this helps out in case you were curious or interested about them. Personally, I find it fun to go through this and talk a little bit about it, mainly due to the fact that the Arrowhead team didn't mention these changes, and it's again fun to go over, and to see what was not mentioned in the patch notes. If you weren't aware of this already, then there you go, try the stratagems out and see if you can notice a difference. Speaking of a difference, there's a great post that was created where someone brought up an interesting image from the Escalation of Freedom stream event that was going on about 3 months ago. In August, during this event, the Arrowhead team and PlayStation employees streamed their own gameplay. What you can see in this screenshot here is that the Arrowhead team had a level 6 ship upgrade unlocked. Let's compare that to the ship upgrades now. I've got everything unlocked, and you can tell the difference between the first image I just showed and my gameplay footage. Hopefully by the end of this year, we'll be able to unlock the last ship upgrades, because it's been a while since we've been able to purchase ship upgrades. How long, you might be wondering? Well, we haven't had one since July, so yeah, it's a little crazy to think we haven't been able to upgrade our ships in quite some time, and I'm personally looking forward to the update whenever they decide to allow us to upgrade the Super Destroyer. With that information aside, we are now going to talk about the latest major order and the success message as well. We were successful in liberating 2 planets before the major order ended, and we now have a success message to go over right here. If you're not near your console or PC, then allow me to go over the message because right here it says this. The Helldivers have halted the tide of tyranny, taking one great stride forward towards a more free galaxy. Many fierce battles were fought across the galaxy. The Automaton Jet Brigade was at last rooted on Ember, delivering long-awaited vengeance for the millions of innocent murdered in their reign of terror. The specter of their rebuilding looms so long as the factories that produced them remain in operation. But for now, our citizens can breathe a sigh of relief. The Democracy Space Station has proven itself a tool for galactic liberation with undeniably non-zero utility. Even as systems recalibrations continue, the hard-working defense contractors who fabricated its millions of replaceable parts have once again proven their immense values to manage democracy. The momentum is now back on the side of liberty, but our enemies do not rest. We must forge onward with every breath, steadfastly striding towards a more free galaxy. Well, this success message, as you can see, mentions how useful the DSS has been so far. And you know what? Say what you want about the Democracy Space Station, to some degree, it actually has proven to be quite a useful tool if you're only counting the passives and the Eagle Storm specifically. Now, the planetary bombardment obviously could use a lot more work. It's not that impressive compared to the Eagle Storm, but the Arrowhead team is working on the planetary bombardment, so we'll see how that turns out. Besides that, I have a good feeling that the next major order is going to require us to clear out the gloom, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Now, I don't know about you all, but it's time that we officially took care of the right side and cleared out the entire gloom. I want to know what's underneath the gloom. I have a few ideas. There could be a super colony, a Hive Lord boss, or newly mutated Terminids, which would be really cool to see. Whatever's underneath there, I'm excited and I cannot wait to find out what's going on. There's one more thing I'd like to bring up. You can tell the Arrowhead team mentioned something about freeing the galaxy up at least twice in the message. So that's got to be a hint that we're going to clear up a few of the sectors. As I've mentioned a few seconds ago, I think the major order is going to be on the right side, focusing on clearing up the gloom, since there's a lot of talk about freeing the galaxy up. Which would you prefer the most? Clearing up sectors on the Automaton side or the Terminid side? Lastly, for today's video, we are going to talk about your suggested loadouts from the comments. If you would like to be featured in the next video, all you have to do is post your recommended loadout down below in the comments. However, if you have already posted a comment previously in a different video, post it again and I might select it depending on the upvotes, or I'll choose it by random. The suggested loadout today is from a player named Goblin_King23, and thank you Goblin for saying that you love the channel. It means a lot, dude, and I hope you have a solid day. With that said, Goblin recommended a bot loadout. We are going to be using the Purifier for basic bots and Devastators. Although it's amazing when you use it on a patrol, you can charge up your shots to blow up a bunch of automatons. The secondary is the grenade pistol for fabricators, enemies that are in groups, and so on. For grenades, none were mentioned, so I used the grenades for confusing enemies. Now, the recommended stratagems Goblin suggested are the rail cannon for most large enemies, like Hulks, for example. We've also got the Eagle Airstrike and the Orbital Napalm Barrage, which is actually surprisingly great when used on the automatons. The last stratagem is the recoilless rifle for blowing up Hulks, fabricators. I mean, it's practically good for everything. Overall, not too shabby of a loadout. I personally would use a different stratagem than the airstrike, but I won't take off any points for that, so this is an easy 5 out of 5 general brash stars. Thank you Goblin for posting that, and hopefully you'll comment in this video because, yeah, you're cool, man. Thank you. With everything being said, this is your Helldivers 2 news. If you guys would like to be featured at the end of the video, all you have to do is comment down below, and if you get enough upvotes, you might just be featured. The first top comment is from James Middleton 4. It's been speculated that the planet dropped the Illuminate right around Christmas time to bring back a bunch of players and entice new players with game trailers, so it winds up in their Steam basket or PlayStation 5 store wish list. You're not wrong at all. It's been speculated that the Illuminate will arrive sometime in December, and who knows, it might just happen, because if you guys haven't checked out the previous video, I talked a little bit about the Illuminate and some of the files that popped up in SteamDB, and boy, is it interesting. The second comment is by Dason Mauser 1542. The player count is definitely going to spike huge again because of yesterday at the Joystick Awards. The game won so many awards. Man, I'm proud of the devs. Cue an amazing community and just a well-built, endless replayable gaming experience. Yeah, hopefully that does happen because, man, wouldn't it be amazing just to see a bunch of players pop right back into the game again and we could play with a bunch of people, and, you know, it would be great for Arrowhead in general. So yeah, I would hope so. The second comment is by Halan TF2. I saw on Galactic War Map the other day 10 divers active in the locked Illuminate sector on the far left. Yes, very well could be. There could be some testing going on. But as of right now, we do know that the community, or that the community manager, said that they do not test their builds live. So maybe that could be a possibility, maybe not. Who knows? Anyways, that is your Helldivers 2 news. I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. I know we reached about 80 to 90 subscribers yesterday, so if you're not subscribed, do it now. Click the subscribe button. It's completely free. You're not going to get charged. Maybe an automaton will murder a bunch of people on a planet because you guys didn't subscribe, so do that now. Subscribe now if you want to save citizens, because it's always good to save citizens, right? You want to save citizens, right? So do it. Subscribe now, and I'll see you guys in the next video.